And welcome back. A Republican gun proposal is expected to hit the House this week. It's believed to be similar to one they already proposed and rejected by Democrats earlier. This one would require the notification of law enforcement if a suspected terrorist tries to buy a gun. The Attorney General would then have 3 days to prove in court that the individual should not purchase a firearm. Democrats say the measure does not go far enough. This after their sit-in on the House floor last month aimed at, among other items, a ban on weapons purchased by people on the government's no-fly list. California, though, is not going to wait for federal action. Governor Jerry Brown signed 6 new gun control bills last week. The new measures include a ban on semi-automatic assault rifles with so-called bullet buttons, which allow the user to quickly reload. The renewed gun debate comes after the nightclub massacre in Orlando, the worst mass murder in U.S. history. Meanwhile, one business is taking on the issue of gun violence. They're saying the pen is mightier than the sword, or in this case, a gun. Cross, a company known for its pens, instead is taking assault rifles like the AK-47. They're taking them, melting them down, then re-smelting them into pens that cost $350. The guns come from Africa, and they're hoping to take at least 5,000 of them off circulation. Joining me now, Robert Baird, CEO of A.T. Cross. Bob, thanks for coming in here today to talk about this. What's the desired outcome?
Yeah, so A.T. Cross is a 170-year-old company, and we've always believed in affecting social change. So guns are a big problem across the globe, of course.
Right.
And we were out there looking for partners, and we ran into a gentleman named Peter Thune, who's breaking down assault rifles in Africa, making fine jewelry, watches, and we partnered with him to make pens.
To make this pen, and
correct.
Specific to this pen here, you'll be selling them. This is the first time it's been talked about in
correct.
media nationally, and it's coming out in the fall. You take one AK-47 or an AK-47 type gun off of circulation, you turn it into one pen?
Correct. So for every pen purchased, we take one gun out of circulation, and every gun out of circulation is less deaths.
What's on this? What we see here is
yeah, that's
this number?
That's the serial number of the AK-47 that was destroyed.
Okay. And then we've got these etchings on it. What are they?
It's designed with the design of an AK-47 that you can see there, and it's got accents of 23 karat gold.
Why should business get involved in this very, very contentious issue?
Yes, I've always felt that corporations have a responsibility to society, and guns are killing people across this country and across the world.
Have you got any blowback so far for this?
We haven't, and again, while we may be a small player here, we want to take the first step. I think other corporations should get involved in this as well, and we need to affect change in this country.
How many have you sold so far? I'm sorry, how many do you hope to sell?
Yeah, so I'd expect to sell about 5,000 this year, but I think the sky's the limit.
Okay, when you're looking at these numbers, $350, some might say, that's a little expensive, but you are taking one assault rifle out of circulation.
Correct. And over time, we are partnering with Peter with a company called Liberty United, which is basically melting down handguns in the USA right now, also making jewelry, pens.
You want to save lives. How many do you think that you'll be able to save by taking these guns out of circulation based on what you've seen so far in your research?
Yeah, so I'd say thousands. You know, each assault rifle is killing people out there, and we're just delighted to get it out of the world and destroyed.
Okay, so as I mentioned at the top, this is in Africa. When are you going to do this in the United States?
Yeah, next year. So we're very excited about that. Liberty United, you can look online, but basically melting down handguns. You know, there's 35,000 deaths a year from guns.
And how will that work here in the United States different than it is in Africa? How are you going to employ that plan? Yeah,
so working with police forces, melting down guns that have been seized, illegal guns that have been seized.
All right, fantastic. I can't thank you enough for coming today on this very topic because it is so important when we look at this. Will you expand the product line at all?
We will over time. I think this should be in everyone's hands, and if I can make a statement, I'd like every senator and congressman to have one of these pens as a daily reminder that we've got to stop gun violence in this country.
Okay. Bob Baird, I thank you so much, CEO of A.T. Cross, with this pen where they hope to make a difference on gun violence, specifically taking assault rifles out of circulation in Africa. And again, you will be doing this in the United States starting next year. Thank you so much, and have a very good July 4th. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
That does it for this hour. I'm Richard Louie, live at MSNBC World Headquarters in New York. We hope you have a very good holiday weekend and a good Sunday. Stay with us for our updates throughout the half hour, on the half hour, all night. We'll be right here. For now, Lockup begins after a short break.
Bountiful Healthy Weight is so good and low calorie. Keeps me looking good. Hey, I get some looks. I hear the whistles.
Benevol Healthy Weight, a delicious low-calorie meal your dog will love, with wholesome rice, real chicken, and accents of vegetables and apples.
My cousin's wedding is coming soon. I like the bride more than the groom.
Turquoise dress